YouTube. Hello, YouTube. It's Wednesday, May 27th, 9:03 a.m. I'm Dao Min Vong, or Charles Dao Min Vong for Dao's the Way. Well, it was quite a memorial weekend, isn't it? It will be memorable for sure. I, uh, I, I kind of took yesterday off because I had to recover. Nothing. I mean, there was no hangover or anything. I just had to accept that life is not meaning life goes on, and that I what I what I was trying to the reason why I wanted to go to be able to have to say that marijuana did not cause the psychosis that I have was that it was the combination of several things that would cause psychosis, and a lot of it is lack of sleep. Um, what I was difficulty was finding sleep. Oh my God, I would do anything for sleep those days. But marijuana helped. See, what happened was that what it did, it gave me blacked out sleep that was I needed it to recover. But the issue was also memory and all. This is why I start needing more things to record. So the treatment of using this as but the biggest issue was sleep, the stress of unable to sleep wear you out, and you will have psychosis anyway. At least that's my theory, because I definitely. So to go back here, that the usage of marijuana was about being present. If anything, I'm not right now, I'm just having marijuana 10 milligram, which was 40 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago. And so, and I'm not feeling the need to, I'm explaining that once you get used to the marijuana, you're not going to, you just get used to it. And it kind of helped what what I was trying to explain to that. I remember when I discovered this, I encourage everyone to become a um, marijuana user. And I was in the most love from 2014 all the way to really for a whole 20 May 2014 onward. I can honestly say that marijuana, if I was at a social event, I was already probably high with marijuana or something in it already, and that I needed it to feel normal, what I thought was normal and present moment, which exactly what happened really. Um, I mean, I I enjoyed it. I enjoy that 2 years. I mean, there was a lot of trauma to deal with too. But what what I find interesting with the notion of friendship, friends, and people you think you know for years, and then they discover, oh, you have mental illness. Well, same thing as being gay or something. For God's sake, it's not that big of a deal. If you mental illness, what I bipolar disorder, I mean, I mental illness was no big deal to me anyway. I was my mother thought I had mental illness for being gay. So mental illness was just another label that you had to get used to living with. And one more thing to add to my family dynamic of shame, of what my mother could be ashamed of me about, but this was too public. I was on social media broadcasting daily about complex PTSD, and trauma and grieving. So a decade later, I would like to share with you um, that from 2010, I think life doesn't get easier when it comes to dealing with love and attachment, and it's more you get lost in it. You get lost in just the demand of the world, and you can barely breathe, and you don't think about yourself. And I know it's weird being single person. and you worry about your survival daily, and that's all you do is you keep trying to keep up with the Jones, keep up with people, keep up with the trend of staying healthy, keep just trying to keep up. And then you have way too much free time. What do? You try to escape. You use things that you numb yourself. So what's weird? I'm using a drug to feel present, so to slow myself down, so that I can think and feel things, which something that I normally don't. You think that what does it mean to be present? Well, usually don't think about myself. I think about other things, other people. So to be present really is self-awareness of your how you interact with other as well. But you can be too socially conscious that then become anxiety. So it's more of the idea of being at home and comfortable with yourself. So you think that in my condo, which is exactly what I've been doing all these times, saying that I am sharing myself in my condo, that I don't mean to harm anyone. And these were all scenario in my head that I was running mother and family. It's just a fantasy, an escape, and it's all legal. I'm not a violent person, never will be violent. Violent is not, why would I live in Irvine if I actually care about violence? This is the most boring place you can live in. So what I wanted to, what I wanted, I've always wanted to be was normal. You see, just another human being living, fitting in without any trauma or anything, just walk around. And Irvine is the most normal, boring place you can ever be in. So I mean, I've been here since 1992, and it it took me forever to be comfortable with Irvine, the street, and it took me. What I would like to say now is um, to to there's nothing shame. What what I'm frustrated. I feel bad for my room, my neighbor, my downstairs neighbor. During the years that Fitz and I was living together. Oh my God, I never, I have never been so happy living alone afterward. But um, but I love Fitz dearly. He's a buddy that I would, I really, I scare him away and he scare himself away. So it's fine. We were what was the delete it what was the reaction of being labeled bipolar disorder was very different for how I reacted and how Fitz reacted. And he's always trust in medicine, and he trusts authority and all. And I respect authority. I respect them. But do I trust them? No, I question them. It's more the right word. So what was being how being treated was very different too. Fitz, when he goes get drunk and crazy, he's still fine. But where if you speak your mind, you're seen as crazy. And there's a very weird part that now that I'm being more aware of things. I can walk around with Bob Tucker everywhere we go in Irvine and feel normal. I mean, I walk around now everywhere normal anyway. But in the last since the okay, it's since COVID, Irvine has become more social. I think people were, at least for my environment, after COVID was required. But I, I mean, I, I'm, I'm happy and proud of how since 2016, Irvine has become more um, active, socially active. I know there are, I actually went to, like I said, I went for Memorial Friday, the 22nd, to go to Harvey Milk event there. I was very proud to be Irvine overnight, and realizing that it took this many years to finally feel normal in Irvine, and people support your community and having an identity. So the important thing here about communication is you need to have what I was trying to do with social media was, well, I thought anyone can go. I mean, I thought anyone can do this, but now notice I have barely any follower except on LinkedIn. But what I was and wanted to do was experience the technology. I was using this to test out essentially like how well does the MacBook Pro, like this, do using Apple M5 Pro with 24 gigabyte byte of memory. Oh my God. Tahoe 26.5 Mac OS. I used to know everything about these things. What I can say that when stream of consciousness is is just what's going on in your head anyway in sharing social media. So what's the narrative that I place onto this here is that in 2016, 2017, I was really what I was selling was idea of trusting the halfway point between VMware and cloud computing. There was still now the big issue just getting data science, data company. I'm sorry, no data company, getting the data center. My God. I do not I have I when I work in IT, I got to school social science to get 3 data center, but it's small compared to what they're thinking, data center or no. Yes, it would to worry about heating, water, cooling. I couldn't believe we have data center. It was so difficult to get a data center at UC Irvine. Try getting a data center for your for your um, for your research. Oh, the good old day. Um, what I think now there's less mania now about what I'm more aware now of what mania is, what it means to get um, to live in a fantasy, thinking I can create my own IT company, or but no, AWS. I was really thought I could do it. It was a big chunk, but I needed to go to AWS. So 2017 going to AWS was way, but the data science company with Fitz was like, yeah, good luck on that one, baby. Um, the it's 12:46, 47. So what I'm trying to do daily here is to practice. Oh, look that it's dental. We have to look forward. Yeah, we're going. So it's 11:15 a.m. So yeah, plenty of time. We need to leave here in an hour. Not for 2 miles. That's nothing. So we'll leave and get dressed by then. So it's about journaling, vlog, and forcing myself to bring up a topic. This is to be like a daily journal anyway, about stream of consciousness, whatever theme. But the original, I was trying to do the same thing anyway, and just before. So what this is about is forcing myself to be on social media, meaning being present on social media and sharing, forcing myself to be on some form of community and to be present. And that there's nothing to be ashamed about what you say on social media. I mean, just like any relationship, I think you have to work at it. Communication wise, I know that presentation, people have anxiety about a lot of things, but one thing that at my age now, I don't sound so weird. I'm not very anxious about my look anymore. I definitely can go to the gym and exercise. I need to like gain muscle and lose weight from all the partying, but um, I'm I now at least have better self care than say last year. Have a good day. Bye bye. We'll catch you later.